Welcome back to the Blackboard. You may have heard of a new topic in the world of SEO that sounds pretty intimidating, but don't worry, you've come to the right place to break it down. Core Web Vitals. This is Google's new set of measurements for your website's page loading experience that will start becoming included in the search algorithm this summer. Now, before you click away, the most important thing to know about this algorithm update is that it does not change the way you win in SEO. It does not change the way you win in SEO. Ranking in search engines will always be about providing the best answer to the user's question. If someone asks Google, how often oil change Jeep Wrangler, because that's how people talk to Google, the top results are going to be the pages with the most relevant, helpful, quality answers to that question. It's not going to be the pages that just load the fastest. Quality content that's relevant to the user's search is still the most important ranking factor, and it will always be. Core Web Vitals will be more of a tiebreaker between pages that are otherwise totally equal in relevance, quality, and authority. Google is just saying, all things being equal, we'll recommend sending the user to a better load experience, which is fair. Okay. Now with that context, let's break down the three measurements within Core Web Vitals. First, we have largest contentful paint, which just means the time it takes to load the largest image or text block in viewport. You want that to be fast. Next, we have the first input delay. This is the milliseconds it takes before your website becomes interactive or clickable. You don't want people tapping your buttons a bunch of times and nothing's happening. And finally, cumulative shift layout, or layout shift, which measures how much your page elements are shifting while the page is loading. If you have buttons jumping all around, the user can miss trying to click one, or worse, click one they didn't mean to. The goal is to be as steady as possible. Now that you know about this game, let's talk about the scores and what to do with them. First, it's important to understand the context. Right now, only 12% of the websites on the internet are getting passing grades for Core Web Vitals. Google's own YouTube is in the red, and CNN scored a 0. If you remember, 10 years ago, Google came out and said that websites would need to become responsive and mobile friendly for SEO. And no one had responsive websites, not even us. Well, we weren't even around 10 years ago. It's their way of introducing a brand new standard and pushing everyone toward it, which is a good thing. Now, you're not competing against YouTube and CNN. So we get an average score of dealer websites across 11 different providers, including ourselves. And the average is currently a 22 out of 100. I don't need to tell you that I am not happy with that score. I don't accept having a low score at anything. And we will move the needle both on a platform-wide level and by working on each individual website. But again, context. It's important to understand that Google's algorithm grades a one-page text-only blog the same exact curve as your dealer website that needs to carry heavy inventory, images, videos, scripts, pixels, dynamic OEM content, and all the different widgets and tools you add to generate leads. So compare your score to your competition, not to your cousin's blog, and then start to take stock of the weight that you can lose. If you have outdated scripts you're not using anymore, throw them out. Those are still weighing you down. We'll actually run an analysis for you. Just submit a support ticket, whether or not you're with DI, and we'll let you know what scripts you have running on your website. If you have widgets and tools from different providers loading on top of your website, take a look and make sure the engagement they're generating is worth the weight that they are putting on your website. And last tip for now, look at your images and make sure they are appropriately sized. They have to be optimized for web and that you're loading specific images optimized for mobile. Oversized images are a huge culprit, and it can be difficult to police depending on how many of your team members or marketing partners have access to your website. Okay, that's a lot. That's a crash course for now. But our team has more in-depth content to guide you through Core Web Vitals, including a full webinar you can check out by clicking below. As always, we're here to help, and I'll see you back here for the next session. Thank you.
Got it.